8.1 Random Sampling. The learning objective for this lesson is I can decide whether a sample is random or not and use that sample to make assumptions about the whole population. A random sample is when data is collected in a way that every possibility has an equal chance of being picked. Equal chance. In most situations, we cannot collect all of the data. It would take way too long to go around and ask every single person at Hillcrest High School what their favorite color is. So because of that, if we still want to have some idea, say we're trying to decide what color stickers we're going to sell, and we're wanting to know, well, what color should we do? Knowing all of our students' favorite colors may help us do that. So instead of asking every student, what we do is we take what we call a sample. So we ask some of them, and we make an educated guess based on that. So a good sample should be random. Okay. So that would mean that the chances of asking each student are equal to asking any other student. The reason we want to make sure of that is because we want to avoid bias. When bias is present, each student does not have an equal chance of being selected and asked that question. So for example, if you went into a classroom and asked just one classroom, but that one classroom was all ninth graders, that may not represent the whole school. What if all of the ninth graders really like orange, but all of the seniors hate that color and they prefer purple? I don't know. We're just saying that it may not represent the entire school if the only people we ask are one specific age. Okay, this would be true if you went into an elective class also, like we only went into the music classes. Well, not everyone takes music, and maybe that could influence what our results are saying. So we need to make it random and ask a variety of students to make sure that we avoid this bias and that we get a good sample. This is a keyword, sample is a keyword, and I do want to make sure you know that. So highlighting this one may be a good idea. Okay. Remember, a sample is just the chunk of people that we are asking since we don't have time to ask them all. So here's an example problem of what you might do with random sampling. Hillcrest has 1,500 students. We ask 175 students as they walk into school in the morning what their favorite color is, and 25 of them say purple. Based on this information, how many students at Hillcrest have purple as a favorite color? So first we have to decide, is this a good sample? Is this a representative sample of the whole population? And I would say yes. All of the students are going to come into class in the morning, right? They're all going to arrive to school. Generally speaking, it's not going to matter what their favorite color is, does not depend on what time they're coming to school. Okay, so you could ask 175 of them, and I would say, yeah, that's probably a good way to do it. It's just random people as they walk into the building, just so that we get a variety of students. So since it is a good random sample, we can use this information to figure out how many students at Hillcrest might have purple as a favorite color. So the way that we do this is we find that 25 of the 175 that we actually asked, we asked 175 and 25 of them said purple was their favorite color. So we would say the percentage of people that liked purple out of that group, so we would take the 25 out of the 175, and you can reduce this fraction into a decimal or a percentage or not. You could actually leave it. I don't like leaving 25 over 175 because that is a reducible fraction. So I would say just go ahead and reduce the fraction, and that's fine. So this would be equivalent to 1/7. Okay, so we're saying that 1 out of every 7 students at Hillcrest has purple as their favorite color. If you wanted to put it into a decimal or a percentage, it would be 0.14 or 14%. Okay. So that's great, but that's just the students we asked still. So now what we can do is we can say, well, if 14% of the students that we talked to said purple was their favorite color, Most likely, about 14% of all of the students have purple as a favorite color. So what we can do is we can take that 1/7 or 14%, it really doesn't matter which you use, and multiply by the total number of students. Okay, and these are equal, right? 1/7 is 14%. So we take it and we multiply it, and we get 214.286. Now, students cannot be decimals, right? People cannot be 2/10 of a person. So we're going to go ahead and round. That's 214.3. So I'm going to say 214 Hillcrest students. I guess we should say about. About 214 Hillcrest students have purple as a favorite color. And that's it. That's all you have to do. So you find the percentage from your sample. So let's do this. Step 1. Find the percentage from your sample. Step 2 is to multiply that percentage by the total number. And that's it. That's everything you needed to know for random sampling. Make sure you do your random sampling assignment now before you move on to the 8.2 notes.